you or someone you know is battling addiction, it may seem impossible to kick the habit and get a clean start. But luckily, there is help right here in the First Coast, and it's at St. Augustine. Please welcome to the show, Jason, Lauren, and Chris with the Augustine Recovery Center. Guys, it's such an impossible task, if you will, to break the habit and move on. So I just want you guys to open up and start off just giving an overview of the Augustine Recovery Center. Let's start with Lauren.
Okay.
All right, so first of all, what's your background?
I have my master's in social work, and I'm also in personal recovery myself.
Okay, so obviously you're an expert in the field, but then you can identify with somebody that would be contacting you
Absolutely.
to help out. And you're one of the owners, and so is your husband, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Jason, so how, like, what was your passion? Like, how did you get into this?
My own battle with addiction, and then recovery, and then beginning to work in the field, finding purpose in that, because up till that point, I didn't really have purpose. I did a lot of jobs, but I didn't feel connected to anything. But I really felt passion for that, and it began as an entry-level position, and then it morphed into a career. And I'm home. This is what we're meant to do. So.
And Chris, now you are part of the outreach portion, right?
Yeah.
You also have experience with addiction, and you're kind of like the first line of communication for someone who's reaching out to find more information.
Yeah, I'm the first person that you're going to talk to if you reach out to the Augustine for help, and I'm going to inform you on the services we can offer. And if we can't offer services that you're particularly looking for, I've built a network so that we can find help for you regardless.
All right, let's talk about what that looks like. So for families at home, they might have either a sibling, a son, someone who needs help, but you need that motivation, that first step to get started. So how does that work? Do they just contact you, and then do you have like a little interview? Is that how it works, and see if there's a fit to move on? So what would that look like?
Yeah, so the phone call is going to start with, we're going to build a rapport, and we're going to ask you what the problem is. We're going to get to the problem. We're going to see how we can offer a solution. And there's a series of interviews that we'll go through, and we'll bring that case to the treatment team, and we'll go from there.
For the most part, Lauren, it is a family affair, correct? You need the support with the family to come on and make the
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have a family program as well. We do a family intensive every 5 weeks. So the families actually get to come to the center, do their own therapy, and then they also get to interact with their clients and do therapy too. So everybody comes together and talks about it. Now what they're talking about, it's out in the open. It's not a secret anymore. We definitely bring the family in. We do weekly updates too for families. So we're always in contact with family members so they know what's happening with their loved one.
and helping the patient along the way.
Absolutely.
And Jason, talk about the facility, because it's amazing. It's in St. Augustine. You guys do so many programs where you actually get out, and then the structure. So can you talk about that?
Well, it's 90-day minimum stay, so it's longer term than most traditional treatment stays. We're on 8 acres, 9 acres now actually. We have a quarter-mile running trail. It's very active. We get them out, moving about. So as far as, like, a lot of times people with addiction think that they're going to go to some hospital, they're going to go to some place where they don't feel comfortable. Our place was meant to feel like home. So the pressure is off and they get to actually move, because we want their entire spirit to move while they're here, because they need to wake up to their inner gifts. That's what they've fallen asleep to. That's what addiction really is you lose your purpose.
And let's talk about, again, it's 90 days. There's a lot of 30-day programs out there. This is 90. What is significant about that? Why did you choose this when you were designing the program?
Well, in school, there's a lot of studies about the differences between a 30-day or a longer-term program. And one of the articles I always refer people to is an LA Times article called The 30-Day Myth. And there's a lot of studies that are cited in that article that talk about the longer success of a longer program. So, even if you just go to Alcoholics Anonymous, they always say 90 meetings in 90 days. There's a reason for that 90-day mark. The kind of craving roller coaster starts to subside right around that 90-day mark, making recovery more possible. And that's basically why we choose that philosophy.
All right, what I'm going to do now is just provide the information, and if you at home have someone that needs this information, you're in good hands. You guys are so passionate about what you do, and you have the experience living that life. So you understand what people are going through. Because again, a lot of people are scared of this. They don't want to make the commitment in 90 days. But again, you're in good hands. Here's the information. So you could call them at 904-217-0480, or you can go to augustinerecovery.com. Thanks again for joining us and sharing the information.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll be back right after this.